Hello everyone, my name is Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. It's no secret that I prefer to work with natural fiber yarns. So I was thinking maybe I should share with you my favorite yarns. So today I wanted to specifically share with you my favorite brands of wool yarn. I try to avoid wool that's blended with acrylic and the superwash wools. I don't like working with wools that are, yes, toxic. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for us I get that the colors are brilliant. I look at the colors I'm tempted to buy when I see those absolutely gorgeous superwash wools. But I specifically am trying to live a less toxic life. So for me, I prefer to work with the itchy scratchy wools. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite brands of wool yarn and where I buy them. So first of all, I did just finish a project with an itchy scratchy wool, and it's one that's it's one of my whips that I've been working on for a while. So let me just grab that quick and show you. This here is a V-stitch wrap, and I made it with Fisherman's wool. I've got two different colors of Fisherman's wool on here that I put together. But this is literally just, here I'm making a mess of myself. This is literally just a wrap just to keep warm when it's winter and it's cold and you're sitting around the house. So I really like how this wrap turned out. I think that I love the V-stitch. I think the V-stitch turned out beautiful. I'm thinking about making another one, but doing colors instead of these. I really like how this turned out, but I am thinking of trying it with different colors. Let's just toss that off to the side. That is the project that I finished last night. So let's discuss my favorite wools. And let's start with the itchy scratchy Fisherman's wool. Now this wool is great because it still has the lanolin in it. So it has a slight waterproofing to it that is amazing. And when you make garments with this, you're going to want to be careful what you wash them with. You're going to want to use a wool detergent and wash by hand. But Fisherman's wool is one of my favorites, even though I think there's only 4 colors. 4. I think there's a 5th one, but it's blended with something else, so it's not pure wool. But this one is oatmeal. Oatmeal is one of the colors. I used it was a cream or an off-white or ivory or something mixed with, like alongside, I double-stranded on that wrap that I made. But Fisherman's wool, it smells to me kind of like a wet sheep a little bit. The smell doesn't bother me. I think for some people, they probably might be bothered by the smell. But to me, I love it because I know that it's natural and it still has that lanolin in it, which is really, really good. So this is probably one of my top picks for wool. I love the Fisherman's wool. Let me toss that off to the side there. And while we're discussing Lion brand, let's just move right into local grown. So I love local grown. It is 100% USA wool. So I think this is a really great wool to use because it does come from the USA. And I am all about shopping local and supporting business, American business. I like American made. that is a top priority for me. Made in the USA of USA wool. That is most excellent. And I made myself an entire queen size blanket with this wool, and I'm planning to make some cardigans with this wool just because it is probably, this is probably my top favorite, just because of the fact that it is USA grown and made in the USA. So that's a big selling point for me. And this I purchased on the Lion Brand website. Both Fisherman's wool and the local grown I buy from Lion Brand's website. Next. I'm probably going to butcher this name because this is a Portuguese wool. To me, it looks like it says Mondim. I'm not 100% sure though. I buy this from the Woolly Thistle. I am in the process, it's another whip that I have. I'm making a bunch of little granny squares with this because what I wanted to do is make myself a top. Now this is a really fine wool. It's a sock weight, or does it say the weight? It's a non-superwash that is made of Portuguese wool though, and I don't see the weight, but it would be a fingering weight, so it's a very lightweight yarn, and I thought I could make myself a top with a bunch of granny squares out of this, and it would be really cute. So I am in the process of making a pile of granny squares. It's gonna take quite a bit because it is fingering weight, but I really love this wool, and this is another that I would categorize as the itchy scratchy wool, because to me this is the healthy wool. It's not a superwash. You don't have a lot of color options when you're going with wools that are not superwash. I will say that you do limit your colors significantly. So, moving on. I have to mention Paton's. Paton's wool is a great wool option. And just like with the other wools, you don't have many options for color. I think there's like maybe I want to say like 5 colors of Paton's. This I bought at Michael's. You can get it at a Michael's store, or you can get it online on the Michael's website. I have a bunch of gray Paton's wool that I bought on sale because it was a really good price, and I thought, well, I should buy enough to do like a sweater or something. So I think I bought like a 10 or 12 skeins of a dark gray, and then I was at Michael's and I ended up picking up a couple skeins of red because I was thinking I could do maybe a gray sweater with red trim. You know, I have a never-ending pile of plans of stuff to make. So anyway, Paton's wool is a pretty good wool. Another favorite of mine that I work with all the time, Wool and the Gang. Wool and the Gang wool is great because it's a company that strives to use non-toxic dyeing processes, but somehow they're coming out with these brilliant colors. I mean, they don't have a lot of options, so you still don't have a great selection of colors, but they offer colors that I can't find in other brands. This one is actually wool mixed with, it's merino wool and alpaca. I'm in the process of making a blanket for my son with this one. I've got a throw blanket that I made with this, and I think I made a lap gan for a friend who's in a wheelchair. So I love this wool, and I've made some other various small projects with this wool alpaca blend. I absolutely love it. I will say it gets fuzzy. It does get fuzzy. And this is just the one wool. Just their main wool brand. And I really like this. I really like this one too. So Wool in the Gang, a favorite. The only downside is the cost. I think I paid like 19, 20 bucks a ball for this, and like 12.50 maybe for this. And I haven't looked at prices recently because I haven't purchased any, but I do need to purchase more of this because I am working on a blanket. Next. This is a really great wool also to work with. Natur Uld. I'm probably butchering it. I think it's Norwegian. It comes from Hobby or Hobby. That's where I purchased it because I thought it would be a really great wool. It is a non-superwash wool, and I like it. I think it works really good. I like to work with it. It's really great for smaller projects. I mean, you could totally do a blanket with this too, but the texture is different than the other wools. I don't know how to describe that texture, but it's slightly different than the wools that I get from Hobby have been wools that are slightly different texture than what I'm used to in a wool, and it's almost like felted or something. It doesn't have, you can't see strands like you can with the wools that I work the most with. But Norwegian wool comes from Hobby. And then this one also comes from Hobby. It's called Happy Sheep. And it's got that same kind of texture that you see in this Norwegian one. I am not sure where this one comes from. It does not, oh, Turkey. This one comes from Turkey, I guess. That's the thing about Hobby. They sometimes have a really good variety. But this one has some really great colors. And this is also a non-superwash. So I'm kind of impressed with some of the colors that they have. And as I stated, just like with other wools, they only have a small selection of colors. They don't have a massive amount of colors. They do have more than, say, Paton's or the Lion brand wool. The one I trust the most is still the Lion brand Fisherman's wool, and they aren't dyeing. They're using natural. The color of the sheep is what they're using, so they're not dyeing at all. But some of these wools are dyed. And they're supposed to be with non-toxic processes, but no, these are really good wools too. I have enough of this to either make a blanket or a couple sweaters. I'm not sure, so I may be doing a blanket with that sometime soon. Okay, we'll just set those back down there. Another wool that I have tried, the Briggs and Little. This is a product of Canada. It comes from the Woolery. So there's a specific name for it, because there's several different Briggs and Little ones that, or two different Briggs and Little. I can't remember the exact word for word name, but it's called Briggs and Little, and you would find it on the website. I can look up the link to it and put the link in my description, because I think that might be the best way to do it, is just put the link for this wool. But I have it in two different greens. I love green, so I have a project planned with green, which I think is an excellent idea. Okay, the last wool that I want to discuss that I think is absolutely phenomenal. Bad sheep yarn. Let me just pull one of these bad boys out. I got a bunch of these. Now, Bad Sheep Yarn has a ton of absolutely gorgeous superwash wools. And as I've stated, I'm not a fan of the superwash wool. But they recently started selling non-superwash wool. And they only have a handful of colors. And I think I've got one or two hanks in every color that they've got. And specifically, I've got them in the fingering weight because I have projects planned for fingering weight yarns. Because the fingering weight yarns, you can make a garment that is a little bit more it's less bulky. So I like to work with the fingering weight for wearable garments, because I do think that you end up with something that it just fits, that it's less, I don't know, it's more comfortable and less bulky. So that is why I like to work with the fingering weight. Now, I do like the heavier weights. I love heavier weight yarns for blankets, and I love a big chunky sweater in the winter. But for, say, I want to try to make some t-shirts, basically, is what I'd like to try to do with some fingering weight yarn. Because I would like to get to the point where I am making my own wearable garments. I wear a lot of dresses. This is a new one, actually. This one is a muumuu dress, which is an incredibly comfortable kind of dress. It's literally like wearing a nightgown. I don't know why I didn't wear these sooner. Probably because I always thought they were for grannies. But a muumuu dress is absolutely one of the most comfortable things that I've ever worn in my life. I don't know why they're not more popular than they are. They should be. They really should be. But anyway, I want to make my goal is to start making some of my own clothing and crocheting some like knit tops. I have a few skirts, and I would love to have a couple of knit tops that I can pair with those skirts, because I think that would be super awesome if I was wearing something I made with my own hands. Kind of like this hat that I'm wearing that I made with my own hands. I love it. I love it a lot. I love it because I made it. It's kind of satisfying to put something on your body that you made with your own two hands. So, anyway, thank you for watching my video about my favorite kinds of wool. And I will put links in the description box. And hopefully that will help you to find the wool that you would enjoy to work with. Have a great day.